Probably the most important step of all this is the hanging and taping of drywall, and the mudding, I should say. This is probably one of your longer phases that you're going to have to do, but it's probably one of the most critical, because if you have walls that don't look right or ceilings that don't look right and your walls sort of curve when they're supposed to be straight, that speaks to your quality of work, right? And people are going to look at that and say, oh, boy. People see it. And if you see it, they're certainly going to see it. And when you start adding paint, you're going to see it even more. So if your contractor says, yeah, my guy, he muds and tapes and hangs, and he's doing the electrical too, that's not my guy. I want somebody who just comes in and just does the hanging and the mudding and taping.
Yeah, there's actually guys that all they do is mud and tape. And I've actually seen guys on jobs that they actually go in at night and they do it because they actually don't like talking to people. It's like a whole other breed of contractor for guys that just do that. But you really want a guy that pretty much does that all the time, because they're super quick. It's an art form. And the problem with it is if the walls aren't perfect and there's issues with it, people think, well, if they didn't take the time to do that, well, what's behind the wall? What's these other issues? So that's the problem that you're going to have, is that they're not going to trust the other work that they're not seeing because the wall wasn't straight or the wall wasn't properly sanded.
Yeah.
So a good guy that knows how to mud, it's very light sand work. Mm-hmm. If a guy's sanding and you see piles of mud everywhere in the corner, honestly, that's a big problem. I've seen that before. I've gone to houses and I've seen, a foot tall of just powder and dust on the floor. You don't know what you're doing if you're doing that much sanding. No, that's a very good indicator of somebody that knows what they're doing.
I think we're at a disadvantage when we rehab houses because people think we're building a brand new house, right? You may be taking a 100-year-old house with existing walls and studs and whatnot and trying to basically make it look as pretty as you possibly can. But people think, oh, this is a brand new house, this is a brand new build. I see a little nail pop there. That speaks to the quality of your work. So that's why it's so vital that you take care of your walls, because that's what everyone's going to see. Don't give them a reason to question the quality of what you're trying to do. Make it look top-notch, and this is where this starts, is that mudding and taping. That's a great point about the sand. I didn't even think about that. If you've got piles of sand,
it's very good. I mean, go to somebody's job and look at what they're doing.
Or you got a smart guy who cleans up and broom sweeps it. You'll never know if you have piles of sand. So, but yeah, it's going to cost you about $35 a sheet to hang mud and tape. Okay, so about $35 a sheet. Multiply that by how many sheets you're going to do, and that's what it's going to cost. But it's very important to do.